Hey there everybody, welcome back into the Bear's Den. As promised yesterday, we're going to take a quick look through and see how all those super hots are doing. So, without further delay, let's get started. Things have changed a little bit since last time we were in here. I'm a little happier with this lighting, not entirely so. I want to find a way to make better use of those shelves there. And as these plants grow up, I'm going to need to expand my light to cover that area. So I got some long-term thinking and shopping there to do. Start in the back here, I've got some herbs for on the table under the 5000K bulbs. Got a few different types of peppers, our Carolina Reapers from yesterday, the Red Ghost Scorpions from yesterday, and I'm still waiting on these Sweet Heat and these Crimson Red. So I don't know how much longer I'm going to give these guys before I try again, or just grab a Sweet Heat from the yard and give up on the Crimson Red. I don't know, we shall see. Anyway, let's start with the bad news of the table area first, so we can end this on good news under the shelf. Turn the light off so we can see things a little bit better. I've had a lot of die-offs in these small planters, so I'm transplanting out of them with reckless abandon, really. It's kind of a mess all over the table. It's made a great little workstation now, but yeah, as you can see, these little green containers for the most part aren't doing well. This one is. I just discovered some aphids on it today, but I sprayed it with some sunlight and some water. Traditional soap and water. Everybody swears that works, so we're taking that approach this time around. There have been a few people asking about the purple freaks, though. They'd like to see the purple freaks, so here we have, at the moment anyway, 5 of those seeds that are planted up and sprouting. I don't know how long this one's going to make it. And I've got 2 of these in the solo cup situations already, so hopefully we will see some variation in the forms of the purple freaks. That's where the St. Thomas Bain peppers came from, right? So yeah, it'll be interesting. Then back here we have a sheep nose pimento. I figured I'd keep it inside. Not exactly a hot pepper, but you know, it's always nice to have a little variety. And then we get this little tiny super chili down here, struggling. Hopefully it'll do better after it gets transplanted into some double cups. Little spider plant coming upstairs for some time closer to the lights and a little nutrients. Then back here we have the black lace elderberry. I cut the leaf tips off of this to try and force some new growth out the middle. We'll see how that does. This is the red currant that I'm keeping inside this winter. Definitely some new growth coming out the middle there. Be very curious to see what kind of root system is on that by spring. And then I have been watering the asparagus, but still doesn't look very happy. There is one green little, frond? Although you can barely see the thing. It's there. So yeah, I got lots of transplanting to do on this table. And then basically I want to put herbs and leafy greens on here because I understand they do better under the 5,000 and 65,000K bulbs. And the purpley blue ones here are better for like fruit plants and stuff. So, oh yes, I've also got those 3 cuttings from the, snake plant, mother-in-law's tongue, that we were able to get from the RM office. They did look like they had roots on them when I put them into this bigger container, so we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see. Alright, time to give these back their light. Alright, I'll just turn the light off here, and we'll take a look inside the nursery box. Unfortunately, it looks like the Carolina Reaper from the mail didn't make it. It was a tough journey, and it was an interesting experiment, but, you know, that's life in a garden. Let's see what else we've got growing in here. This would be Red Moruga Scorpions. Transplanted one out of here already because it was doing quite well. Waiting for these other guys to get a little bit bigger and stronger before I transplant them out. Beside that we have the Orange Fugo seedling. Kind of had no choice but to plant this. The packet got wet, the window was open, it rained really, really hard. So I had to plant a couple of things. Next to that we have Caramel Moruga Scorpion. Again, these are the smaller ones. I took the bigger ones out already. This one here is looking like it's ready to transplant, which I guess leaves this one on its own. Or would it be better to transplant this one and leave this one in the cup because it's got the bigger root system. Yeah, I should probably transplant this one. Alright, and then in the end position we have a Brazilian ghost hiding out there, getting some nursery style light until I need it for seedlings. Until I need the space, that is, for seedlings. So we'll see how that goes. And these two little guys here, Hungarian yellow wax. It's another one of those, the package got really wet, had to plant some of the seeds rather than a total loss. So not necessarily super hots these, but a nice warmish pepper. And what does that leave us here? Our last one in the nursery would be Kung Pao hybrids. Kind of looking forward to growing these indoors. They are a hybrid, so I can't really save the seeds from them and expect them to grow true. But I might save some anyway and just see what happens with it. They're a little leggy because they got leggy before I noticed they had sprouted. So that's why everything's in the nursery box now. Full on surround the light. Here's a little cutting I took from that, what is it, Flaming Caddy, I think it was called. So might as well put that in the nursery box in the empty spot for now until something sprouts from the tray. And behind that, in this I think this is like a painter's lamp fixture or something. I don't know. I've had it for like 20 years. Since I kept snakes in my home. Anyway, we've got this sitting up in the back. Not happy with the way it's shining down, but let's take a look at what's underneath it anyway. Off goes the light. Now these here in the back, these are two more of the purple freaks. Clearly doing much better in the cups than those ones are in the little containers. Down here we have a mixed mini bell. This ended up getting planted in that rain emergency. Oh, look at this beautiful start, eh? But here we have one of the larger Moruga Scorpion Reds that already got transplanted out. It's starting to shade out its friends in the cup, so it got a cup of its own, and boy am I glad it did. Fantastic. And then beside that, the last spot under this particular light, we have the chocolate halves from Rev. These guys are getting some good true leaves on there. Not really stretching anymore now that they're under these better plant lights. So I'll just plant them a little bit deeper when I do give these guys their individual cups. But it looks like I've got 3 good solid starts there, so sweet! I've never had a chocolate habanero. And then on the little shelf here, I'll just take the tinfoil off. I'll probably have to turn these lights off. They don't have switches, so I guess that means I'm turning off all the lights, but isn't that a bright little shelf? Quite a change with all those lights turned off in here. But most of these have been transplanted out into individual cups now. Here's that one orange habanero I rescued from the aeroponic garden outside where I was testing those 3. The other 2 that are in there are still just little tiny seedling looking things. And there's this one. So I think the other 2 are coming inside for a double cup and some soil, and yeah, join the garden. Orange habaneros I've had, I love, and I can never have too many of. Over in the back corner here I've got 1, 2, 3 Nepalese bell seedlings. This one in the corner looking like it might get topped soon, actually, if it keeps growing the way it is. These are 2 of the Moruga Scorpion Caramel, and I've got 2 of the Moruga Scorpion Reds sitting there beside them. 3 Brazilian Ghost starts, so that's terrifying but exciting. Next to that we have some Trinidad Scorpion red pepper seeds. Still need to transplant one of these guys out, give it its own cup, but I'm somewhat limited for space. Managed to get the Trinidad Scorpion yellows transplanted. I've got 4 out here and 2 outside, because why not? And then in the very back here we have the Trinidad Scorpion Butch T Reds. Those are the, I got 2 out of the 6 seeds, I got 2 plants. But they are sure strong looking plants. And in our last two spots on the shelf here, we have two fatales, so one of those still needs to be transplanted. Those are yellow fatales, if I recall correctly. And we have the better looking of the two super chilies, so that one at least will make it through. I'm very nervous for the first one. Alrighty, well, I need to throw these lights back on and get these guys growing. So out of the 4 different LEDs that I have growing my super hots here in the bear's den, well, and my regular plants as well, I would have to say my preference is for those most recent ones I picked up, the little square ones. They're about 35 bucks. I've got 2 of them under that shelf, and those plants are doing phenomenal. So, for those of you who are kind of wondering how my preference is developing, those are definitely first place. That little 6 water is definitely second place if it's in this type of a situation. I will not be purchasing another one of these lights again. I don't know if it's the fixture or the light, but it has issues turning on, and it's producing the most heat, in my opinion. And as far as the hardware bulbs, you know, they should do just fine for the herbs and the leafy greens, and they do great for lighting up the house. These are 9-watt bulbs, right? So household fixtures and maybe some houseplants. Alright everybody, well, thank you for joining me in the Bear's Den today. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will see you next time.